Hello there, and welcome to Sport&Nerdy. I've just watched the Arsenal versus Sporting Lisbon game, and I was um, I watched it, and Sporting Lisbon should have taken their chances. Um, yeah, Sporting Lisbon should have taken their chances, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Arsenal were fortunate to come away. Um, come away with a win. Um, Hold on, guys, 1 second. So I've just had things to do with. So yeah, Arsenal not great. Sporting Lisbon should take any chances, but it's the curse of the Arsenal. Um, so yeah, um, I won't be. This will literally be a quick break. I'm probably going to be live for the next half an hour, to be fair. So yeah, Arsenal, and yeah, like Arsenal were not great. And yeah, but the thing I want to know is, and if anyone's watching this, and if anyone can actually help me, because I'm actually well confused. At the moment, we have 5 Champions League places in the Premier League, and the one thing I'm trying to get my head around. Okay, I just want to introduce a regular member that we all know on this channel. Let me introduce Patrick.
Hello.
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Obviously, we've got a show tomorrow, haven't we?
Yeah,
And I'm not. I'm only going to be on live for the next like 25 minutes, half an hour top.
yeah.
I can't get my head around like the whole like, Champions League thing for next season because they make it confusing every bloody year.
It's fairly simple.
It could
Top
just be me
five,
overthinking things. To be fair,
top five are guarantees. So
hmm
if you finish 1 to 5, you're guaranteed Champions League football through to the league phase, no questions asked.
yeah.
The problem is now because Villa are in the top three.
hmm
If Villa win the Europa League and they finish in the top six, then you have Villa. Then you'll have the sixth place team go through.
So at the moment, who's sixth right now?
Arsenal, Man
No, no,
City, Man
you're sixth. Right?
United, Villa, Liverpool, Chelsea.
So Chelsea will go through.
Yeah.
Okay, and if Forest win the Europa League, does that mean seventh get it or not?
If Liverpool win the Champions League, or Villa
Yeah,
or City or Forest win the Europa League, the number would increase.
to seven.
Yeah.
And seventh is I think Brentford at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's mad. That's honestly mad. I'm not gonna lie.
So 7 teams could be in Champions League next season, no matter what.
And then obviously, what would it? Eighth and ninth would get Europa. 10th would get conference.
No, no, it won't. It won't be like that. I'm trying to get it up now.
Honestly, as I say, I'm literally like we got a show tomorrow. We'll talk about the other games like that. But this is literally just me getting my head around the whole like the whole like Champions League thing. I'm well confused.
Hang on. Let's try. Here we go. Fifth place will get Champions League football. So as things stand, third, fourth, and fifth Champions League, sixth Europa League, seventh Europa League, eighth Conference League. If Leeds or Southampton win the FA Cup, then the team that finishes eighth gets nothing. If Villa finishes fifth and wins the Europa League, then sixth will be in the Champions League. If Liverpool finish fifth, win the Champions League, then the sixth place team will be in the Champions League. If both win the European trophy to finish fifth and sixth, it would put seventh into the Champions League.
And what about the other competitions?
That's it.
Said that?
That's literally the same thing. So if Villa or technically, you can't have the doomsday scenario is Forest winning it. Because if Forest win it, then you don't get sixth place getting Champions League football.
But what about like the Europa League and Conference League?
Then that stays the same. Sixth, seventh, eighth, sixth and seventh will get Europa League. Eighth will get the conference should Villa win it. But if Leeds or Southampton win the FA Cup, which obviously they're not destined because City are the favourites, but knowing knowing Leeds and Southampton, then eighth will get nothing.
So, as worst comes to worst, England gets 7 Champions League places. Hypothetically speaking, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best case scenario. They get 7.
Does that mean 8th and 9th then get Europa League or nothing?
No.
So,
so technically, 5. So as it was this year, 5 made it into the Champions League. That was Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle. Then it was Forest. Well, it was Crystal Palace and Aston Villa, but it was now Forest. Crystal Palace is the only British representation in the Conference League because the Conference League only allows one team from each of the representations to be in that tournament. So Europa League 2. So technically, we can have 7 in the Champions League, 2 in the Europa League, 1 in the Conference League, but it needs a whole lot of mathing.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get my head around. That's why I'm doing a quick stream right now, and obviously tomorrow we'll talk about other stuff.
You don't need miracles. The way that Newcastle are, they could, but they'll need to go on a run. And considering you're flip-flopping over Eddie Howe doesn't help.
Yeah, I'll give you that. But we'll talk about it tomorrow. Don't worry about that.
So the problem is you got the 4 teams that could get it: Chelsea, Everton, Brentford, Liverpool, because they're all on the 40s.
Yeah.
And Chelsea's fixture list don't help the fact that we've got Manchester City next, Manchester United, and then Brighton midweek before our FA Cup.
That's mad. Honestly, what was going through my head was the best case scenario: England gets 7 Champions League sides, and then I was trying to get my head around the 8th and 9th getting Europa League, and the 10th game, basically half the league get Europa League football, or get European football. That's what I was trying to get my head around. So I was like, how does that work though? Because it wouldn't. Oh, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be confusing, but once everything's like set in stone, it'll be properly. Just think of it this way: as of now, top 5 Champions League football. We'll sort out 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th when it comes. But as it stands, top 5 Champions League football.
Oh. Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go anyway, Patrick. And thanks for joining.
Big up every time.
Speak today, mate. So that's helped a it. I'm still a bit confused by it, but it is what it is. But I'm also gonna while we're here, while I'm just doing this live stream, just talking. Newcastle United has set out asking prices for Sandro Tonali, Anthony Gordon, Livramento. £100 million for Tonali, £100 million for Gordon minimum, and between £67 million for Livramento. I think we should charge more for Livramento. I would personally put 80, 90 million pound in. I'm going to ask, are Newcastle undervaluing their players? Because last summer, we got £130 million for Isaac. Tonali, should we be charging more for Tonali? Should we be charging more for Gordon? Should we be charging more for Livramento? And what players should we bring in to replace those players if they leave? If Tonali leaves, who should we bring in? So I'm just going to ask that. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a live stream and live show with some of the Reckless Review panel, Patrick, and a few others. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, this only be a quick show because it's quite late and I'm actually tired. But you know what, everyone, whoever watches this, big up yourself. I'll speak to you soon.